Good morning, traders, and welcome back. Gates W. Adams here, host of the Trader Bacon Show. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys today is just one of the exciting aspects of the opportunity of trading is that it can essentially be done almost anywhere where you have an internet connection. And while there are some restricted countries for a variety of reasons, but even with Apex Trader Funding, we actually have traders all over the world. And today I'm going to introduce you to Florian. He's actually one of our European traders. He's actually based out of Hungary. And we're going to get some insight from him today. So let's bring it on here on the Trader Bacon Show.
Welcome to the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Are you ready? Because the Trader Bacon Show starts right now.
Good morning, Florian. How are you?
Good morning. Great. Doing great. Good start
Welcome
into
to
the new
the
week.
show. Absolutely. Now, I say good morning. It's not morning for you, is it?
Nah, here in Austria, it's like afternoon. It's like 5 p.m. right now. That's like what I kind of love about the US market, I guess. I really do enjoy it, like trading. So kind of in the afternoon. I don't have to get up early and stuff. And I really enjoy it.
It's definitely a different dynamic, and actually one that I wanted to explore a little bit. Now, one of the things that we like to do is kind of talk about that routine going into your trading day. For a lot of us over here stateside, if we're trading the U.S. Open, that means getting up and preparing our day. But for you, this is more along the lines of at the end of your day, right?
Yeah, right. Like yeah, end of the day I wouldn't say like that, but usually like I get up, like well, obviously I have a dog. I walk the dog and stuff, I get the standard things done. Then now like just and also like give some personal training. That's like kind of my other job right now because I used to be a pro athlete. So I was fighting MMA professionally for 9 years. And I had a injury and stuff like this, so I'm no longer can't compete. And now I'm kind of want to try to transition to full-time trading. And yeah, and it was perfect. It was perfect. Like with training, I had training in the morning, then I was grabbing lunch, short nap, trading the US Open, short nap again, going back to training. It was in the evening, so it was just fit me my lifestyle perfectly, I guess.
Excellent. And I think that's one of the things that I think a lot of us love is that we can find a way to fit it into whatever our schedule looks like. So obviously for you, it's a different time of day, and that changes the dynamics a little bit. But now, obviously we've brought you here as a successful trader. We want to hear some of the what does your routine look like before you trade, and specifically as it applies to the trading. How do you start your trading day?
So first off, I always look at the bigger picture, I guess, to some extent, to kind of form a bias for the day at least, and kind of mark out like some key areas I'm interested in. I trade a lot around like volume areas, so I kind of want to see where we had the drop, I guess, to some extent, and then yeah, I just wanna know where I want to be trading at, because one of the biggest problems I do have is because I'm an order flow scalper. I scalp only for a couple ticks usually. And the problem is, which is my biggest problem in trading, I guess, is like that sometimes I do scalp in random places that don't have a higher time frame edge. So that's what I'm working on right now, just to execute at the right locations, I guess.
So when you're setting up your day and you're looking for that, that particular bias, what sort of dynamics are you looking for?
Yeah, basically. So I have the market profile that I look at, so from the last couple of days, and the volume profile as well. So I do look at this and like kind of just like I said, to form a general bias, to know where like people are interested in buying, because my trading style is a lot also based off auction market theory. So I want to know where fair value is, I guess, like where value area high is, where value area low is, and then kind of see how the price interacts with those levels and how much volume is traded there. Because like usually if you go up to an value area high, for example, like volume should in theory, if you want to see it pull back and not break out, volume should dry out. So if you want to see the pullback, then volume should dry out, because if you look at the auction market theory process of things, so you have in the middle kind of the fair price, let's say, and then you kind of move up, and the higher you go, like in general, like volume should dry out because this is no longer such a fair price, I guess. But if you
Mhm.
see on the order flow and sometimes say that we move up on huge volume and then even building volume in the highest, and chances are we go in higher. So that's kind of the look at it.
Okay. Now, are you trading multiple instruments, or do you focus on just one?
I used to just trade yes. So I was at the really successful time I had with trading. So I was just trading yes and just order flow scalping it for really not much, and pretty much focusing on breakouts and breakdowns. But I since June I've been kind of struggling, I guess, like since early June, late May. I've been struggling because like the volatility has dried out a lot,
Right.
so my plays just don't go. They always come back, pull back, and I get chopped up in these macro ranges a lot. So
Mhm.
that's now I'm trying to implement way more higher time frame stuff. So I do execute on the right places and do try to hold the trades for bigger plays. So I've built
Sure.
a very good understanding of order flow, and really I can work myself and find myself very precise into entries, because I kind of have a good feeling for the S and kind of what the next couple ticks, I'd say, gonna do if I look
Okay.
at the order flow. But yeah, if I do start implementing this then now in higher time frame stuff, I think my trading will evolve a lot.
Excellent. Now, you talk about scalping. What does a typical scalp look like for you in terms of risk ratio, risk and reward ratio?
So I kind of have my so yeah, to it back to your point, like I used to just during the time where I was very profitable for almost a year and got like multiple payouts in a row with Apex, I was just scalping the ES because this was back in the bear market and we had a lot of volatility as well. So now that volatility has dried out, I'm also trying and queue a bit, but
Mhm.
obviously you gotta be wider with your stops.
Sure.
Um, so on the S, I have like just an emergency stop and emergency exit of 12 ticks. So
Mhm.
that's just, but I really never try my emergency stop to get hit. So my take profit and my stop loss are always fluid. I never like try to get them hit. If I see the market really pushing higher, I just move my take profit, for example, or if I see it like it might want to reverse, then I just take the profit and the other way around as well.
Excellent. So you're going to manage it based on what you've seen in your pre-market assessments and the movements that you're seeing.
Nah, just in the moment. So I really trade and live just in the right now. So like I said, I'm a order flow scalper, I guess. So I'm really looking at the dawn, at different markets as well, but mostly the S. I'm gonna kind of show you then in a second. And
Yep.
I'm really trying to live in the right now. So if you look here, I've pulled up like my I've pulled up here this account, so I can also like execute a bit. So I'm just sim, so I can like execute some trades for you as well the way I do it. So
Okay.
I do have the charts here up. So I do have a 2,000 tick chart up here and a 1,500 tick chart up here as well. So but so that's just I obviously I use price action and stuff like this as well. But really, when it comes to execution, I pretty much just look at the order flow,
Okay.
my three four DOMs actually, so the Russell, the YM, the Q and TS, and I do have the auction Vista here as well from Jigsaw, and then here on the right you see my times and sales. That's filtered times and sales. So on this big one with the where the time is as well, and where I do have the time and the price to be exact. That's every order 50 plus lot that hits into the market. So that's just market orders and or just orders above 50. So in order to execute 50 orders on market, you gotta have a big account.
Right.
So these are kind of like big players. Okay, so I kind of want to see what the big players are doing, I guess. Okay.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
when you see these plays, are you looking to mimic? Are you looking to follow? What are you looking to do when you actually see these big orders take place?
It's always context. So it depends where they hit. and then it also depends how strong the offer is. So if, for example, if you see big people hit and they ain't moving the market, okay, like, and you tells you like, oh, the offer's like really strong here, okay, like, but if they hit like with a 60 and just okay, like just flush it,
Hmm.
then the offer ain't strong, like, and probably if they kind of keep hitting, like, and they're probably gonna reload on the pullback because they
Hmm.
hit at this price on market. So chances are high, if we get the pullback here, the quick, they're gonna reload there, and if I see them reloading, I enter, and then they probably hit again. So that's kind of I'm really living in the moment. So
Okay.
this on the inside prints here on Jigsaw, you see the that's basically like a footprint, and
Okay.
you see the market orders executed. And on the outside, you see the limit orders that are in the book. And
Now,
so
do you see it? Do you see a trade coming up, or do you are
we
you
might
literally?
we might it's like kind of decent. So we have here, for example, like we're ranging here on the yes. So we have a good just sideways range on the yes,
Okay.
and Qs are just kind of pulling back here. So
Sure.
we also put in kind of a bottom tick of this, not quite yet. So bottom ticks are also kind of important for me. So I want to see if the price gets low, it really kind of auction market theory, like go lower and then immediately, like flush back up. So speed is also very important in my trading. So um, right now you do see some buying coming in on the NQ here, and
Hmm.
also on the S. Like you see like they are buying heavily.
Right.
So this does look good. The other markets are also pushing up, so more buying. So this looks decent for a long. But now we're at the
Okay.
top of this range, kinda. So I'd wanna and also you have the point of but the absorbing here. This does look like we're just pushing higher here. Want to be careful though, like, because we're kind of at the middle or top of a range, and if you play ranges, you don't really want to play the tops and the middles of the ranges. So I'd love to see this pull back a little bit, because point of control, then again, also always a, a like a kind of element, and you have the point of control on the daily here, so of the day here. So the point of control likes to pull the market back in, I'd say. Okay, but you
Got
do
it.
see lots of volume are transacted in the highs, so this kind of tells me we want to go higher. So I might be interested in trying this long here.
Okay.
So
Now
we
you
have,
talked about. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so I might even like, yeah, I try to get a limit fill here, for example. I mean, it's not ideal, like, but you see the other markets just ripping higher, and ES is still ranging. So um, chances are very high, in my opinion, that we at least get a test of the top here. It's going.
Now you're trading ES and NQ, but obviously you've got the Dow and the S&P also showing there on that on those DOMs. How important is that congruence with the other indices for your decision in your actual trades?
That's something I've just kind of looked. So I always set them up, but more recently I've paid way more attention to it, because,
Okay.
in my opinion, they very often give you kind of a free peek. So
Sure.
you kind of want to look at them, and like you saw earlier, like I was a little bit hesitant. I guess I wanted to see some sort of little bit pullback, but if you see all free markets pushing higher, that's usually very good, and to go long, I guess. And also, like, for example, like we're ranging here, okay, and the other markets are pushing higher.
Mhm.
So it kind of they kind of, in my opinion, they rubber band always kind of back to one another. Like they might go off a little bit here and there, but there's um, so much algorithms and the HFTs are involved that kind of try to play this the kind of the difference between those markets. I'd say, like, if that makes sense. So they kind of want to hedge them. So they eventually gonna come back to one another again. So and if you like, and if you see free markets go higher and one is just kind of lagging behind, then it's very often also like that just this one market is kind of holding it back, the other markets. And if this market starts going, then we're really flying. Or obviously, if the other markets that are flying kind of return back to the mean, then we can see a drop of the other market. But once again, we're really very into Yeah, it all comes together. Like it's. I need to see a lot of things at the same time for me to say it's a good trade. But right now, for example, we are building a lot of volume at the highs on the S. Okay, so an auction market theory is kind of like this is not a top yet. Okay, so you could even like long the top here on the S.
Okay.
Might even try
Now,
to get a fill here, for example.
now how much heads up do you have before you actually execute a trade? Are you trying to make that split second decision, or do you see a trade coming?
Sometimes and I usually like to see them coming. So
Great.
for example, like one of my favorite playbook setups is a liquidity grab, okay, below a previous pivot, I'd say, and then the market reverse. So uh, because usually it is where I mean I have on my YouTube a couple of videos on it, example videos. But what I do like to see is let me see if there's anything here. In my opinion, like the market always wants to. This is really ripping now. So the market always wants to take liquidity out first before moving the other way. And it's kind of important, in my opinion, that you kind of wait for a top or bottom tick if you want to play the reversal. So, for example, here, like that's kind of you could kind of say this might be a little bottom tick here, a top tick here, even though we're not because we're high on the S and we just come back fast. Okay, that's something that's very important in my trading. For example, if you want to play a reversal, I do like to play reversals as well, but I would never just simply short the top. Okay, so usually before it reverses, and if it builds volume there, it at least tries. Okay, like it tries to go higher, and then depending how the break looks like, it can be a top or not, in my opinion. Like if it breaks and then it doesn't find any buyers higher, okay, like nobody's is really willing to hit here higher, and also you don't see a bid follow through, also the limit bids follow through, and it just falls back in on low volume very fast. Then for me the auction process is complete, okay, because the market tries to go higher, 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 and try to find sellers, and yeah, so tries to find if there are any buyers higher, let's say like this. And then once it doesn't find any more buyers higher, it just falls back in. So I only wanna take a reversal trade, for example, if I see that happen.
Okay.
And this happens on micro time frames, it happens on bigger time frames. And that's like, for example, for me, if someone just looks at the doji candle, that's the example I always say. It's like if you just look at the doji candle, in my opinion, on a time-based one, especially just on the closes, it's very difficult to tell if this was actually a rejection or not. But in the end, because in the end, I think, at least for me and my trading style, I mean, obviously if it works for you, great. But at least for me and my trading style, it always depends how much volume we trade there and how fast it goes. Okay, like speed is such an important thing in trading. For example, now we're kind of building volume at the highs. Okay, and if this now just pulls back a little bit and the candle closes here, okay, for a doji, and then right after the candle we move back out higher faster. Okay, now you have a beautiful looking closed doji candle with a hard wick because it's time based. But the actually story behind it, you're completely missing. You're missing that down here ain't any sellers, okay, interested. And up here, we still have a lot of buyers interested, okay?
Right.
So I think like just looking at time-based charts alone it's very difficult to be profitable in my opinion. Like I think order flow is just the DOM and yeah, the price ladder basically is just one of the most crucial things in trading, at least for me.
Well, and I think one of the things that we have absolutely seen is that everybody assesses the information that makes sense for them. And
Exactly.
for some traders, that's a lot of information. For some traders, that's just a little bit of information. But the idea here is find what makes sense for you, figure out why it makes sense for you, and test it. Now, how much testing do you do in terms of any adjustments that you make?
A lot. Like I kind of journal almost everything, and I kind of I tag my if I have specific setups that I do tag, but kind of like more of I look at my general stats. So this is also the nice thing about if you use Jigsaw, it automatically copies your trades all into analytics, and then you can go and look and just see what you look at. And also, like, that's kind of the reason I started this YouTube channel in the first place. Like, I was just priorly I was just recording myself trade,
Mhm.
because it's not like I don't have this every trade in my opinion is different. Like,
Sure,
every trade has some nuances. Like, no trade is exactly the same. So
sure,
just screenshotting all them and stuff like this, it's just like kind of, I don't know. And also the market is always changing. So
sure.
I started recording myself trade and then reviewing it and watching it. And then another YouTuber, which I talked to him. I don't know if I'm allowed to give him the shout out. Like, I asked him for permission. Like, so, and he said
Yeah, I mean,
fine.
I know everybody's kind of got their mentors and
Yeah.
such. So, but yeah, so okay, so as you go through this process, as you make adjustments or as you make judgment calls in some of your trades, so you're tracking your statistics as you go through here and ensuring that you actually have a
Edge.
winning system. Is that essentially what you're
Exactly.
looking for?
Exactly.
Wonderful.
And I try to kind of adjust, like, where my errors are, and if I'm over trading, if and then you can also kind of tag if it's just what the errors were, like if it was just tilt and over trading, or if you actually your edge stopped working and stuff like this. So that's something I've yeah. And
Excellent.
obviously, like, just recording for me myself, like just recording myself trade is the biggest push in my trading, because you
Sure.
can, and just if you just stream it on YouTube, even if you don't want to like have a public YouTube channel, just if you just stream, you download OBS, you just live stream it on YouTube. You can do it publicly, just share your screen public or
Mhm,
private, man, and then you can just watch your screen and yourself trade from
mhm,
literally everywhere around the world on your phone, on YouTube. You don't need any storage on your PC and stuff like this. And it's just a complete game changer. Like,
mhm.
then you
Awesome.
can, instead of watching like other people kind of trade, you can just, or like kind of some useless strategies or whatever on trading on YouTube, you can just watch your own trades and like try to figure out where your mistakes are and stuff like
Sure.
this. And I'm
Now,
also huge.
I'm so sorry. You mentioned your YouTube channel. Now, yeah, you are, if I'm not mistaken, at Trading the Trades. Is that correct?
Exactly, yeah. And I kind
Okay.
of, yeah, I live stream easy every day, basically.
Right. And it looks like we have some of your fans in the chat. So
Yeah,
thank you guys for showing up. That's awesome. Now, on that note, here in just a few moments, we will actually be giving away some of these Apex evaluations, Apex Trader Funding evaluations. So if you're whether you're a funded trader or whether you're trading your own funds or you're still working in demo, this is a great opportunity to move into that space or to grow yourself in that space. So make sure that we've got the form right there in the chat. Take a couple of moments and fill that out. We'll be giving away 3 evaluations here in the next few minutes. So just as a thanks for hanging with us today. Now, Florian, let's talk a little bit more about your lifestyle. You mentioned that you were a professional athlete and you transitioned into your I guess you're in the process of transitioning into full-time
yeah.
trading. Um, what has the opportunity to be a funded trader, not necessarily have to trade your own funds, being an international trader, as it were, at least from our standpoint, how has that opportunity, what exactly has this opportunity done for you in terms of building your life the way that you want?
Yeah, to be honest, I would have probably never I probably would have never picked up futures to begin with, because I
Mm-hmm.
think it's kind of like, if you like, you kind of have to sign up with an it's like a pretty difficult, I'd say, how to get into them if you're
Mm-hmm.
not getting into them through a prop firm, because you do have to register with a broker, and you gotta transfer the money to a broker, and you could end up like blowing your account, and like even like ending up needing to also owing the broker some money, because you didn't get your fill properly on the stop or whatever. So and it just removes a lot of, in the beginning, like in my opinion, it removes a lot of the kind of stress about it, because you sign up for an eval, which are always very cheap, and that's pretty much all you have in terms of risk.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
it's
And
very
right. I know for a lot of people that financial entry is oftentimes that biggest barrier, not only in terms of what they can actually go in with, but in terms of the psychology. People
that's
trade differently when they have, $50 on the line versus when they have 10,000 on the line. So for you, you're saying that this wouldn't necessarily have been an option to move into that trading space without an option like this?
Yeah, not really. And also in Europe, it's kind of difficult. So in Europe, it's really like in Europe, it's different than in the US. Like in Europe, it's very rough to trade futures actually, because the bank system is very, kind of corrupted, say, and they want you
Okay.
to trade at CFDs with the awful spread and stuff like this. And so
Right. So now, how long have you been trading as a funded trader with Apex?
I've started trading with Apex 2021, I guess, somewhere around that. And it was always just a hobby. So I always just did it as a hobby, and just in the afternoon, because I loved it. Like I love trading. Especially once I got introduced into order flow and looking at the order flow, and just because that's what I kind of really understood. So that's what really made sense for me. Okay, like just looking at basic um candlesticks and stuff, it just didn't really make so much sense for me, I'd say. And then once I saw the order flow and how the markets really work, okay, we have buyers here, sellers here, they are hitting here. That's why price is moving. Okay, like understanding why price moves. I was trading like for a year and even didn't really understand to fully why price was moving. So when I started out with crypto and some forex stuff, so and then once I understood this, like I just loved it, and it was always a hobby, like easy to do on the side. And I got, obviously, like I blew a lot of evaluation in the beginning. Then because I kind of YOLO'd it. I also formed some bad habits, so that's someone I want to like kind of tell everyone listening and stuff like this. Like treat it, if you sign up, like first kind of try on sim. Okay, try on sim until you're profitable on sim, I'd say. And then once you're profitable on sim, then you can switch to a prop firm. And you gotta treat it like you gotta treat those eval accounts like they are already your real own hard-earned money. Like if
Mhm.
you start gambling them, then you form some bad habits, and some of those habits honestly haunt me till today, like from a bad time. And then I do
Well,
did
and,
get
and
fun. And
I think that's everybody. This is, in my opinion, an ongoing journey, and we all face these, I don't know, demons, if you will, from time to time. For some of us, it's more frequent. For some of us, we're pretty well past them, but they rear their ugly heads every now and again. So now, if you weren't trading, Florian, what do you think that you would be doing at this point professionally in Austria?
I'd obviously be coaching. So yeah, it was just recently. So it was like 4 months ago that kind of my sport career got stopped because I had disc replacement surgery on 2 discs. So and now I'm just trying to build this YouTube channel, this community, and just try to transition eventually in a full-time trader, and just in the meantime, like give personal trainings and stuff like this. And um, I'm I'm right now, I'm kind of struggling, like since, like I said, like since the volatility dried out, like I have to readjust my system. My breakout trades ain't no longer working, which were my edge. So my edge is kind of struggling right now. So yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
I need
I
to.
know that desire to correct it when the volatility is lower, but of course, we typically see a lot of this in the summertime with professional traders on vacation and things like that, which we're about to be past, hopefully here in short order, fingers crossed. So, listen, man, I really appreciate it. I know we've got to take care of a little bit of business right here. Looks like we have a few winners here: John, Michael, and Amin. Congratulations. You will be getting an email from Zunaid on that and how to get all of that set up. So congratulations on that. If you want to take a look at Florian's trading, you can see him on YouTube at Trading the Trades. The link is up there on the chat as well. and follow along, watch his progress. And Florian, we are so pleased to have you in. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep working towards that higher level of success. We expect to see great things from you, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see some pretty exciting results here in the near future. All right.
Thanks. See you.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us today. This has been today's episode of the Trader Bacon Show. We've got some exciting new guests coming up in the next few weeks, and we'll be putting some information out on that here in short order. So stay with us, and we'll see you soon.
Welcome to the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and